So this is gonna be a quick video about how to know if you purchased a counterfeit Lamy Safari. If you bought it from Amazon or from some unofficial dealer, then maybe you got a fake and just hard to tell whether you did or didn't. So this video should run through a couple things to look at. This is a Lamy Safari that I got from Amazon. Actually, it was a very good deal, so I picked it up, even though I usually try to buy these from official dealers, and I wanted to run through some of the points that I would look for. The first of all is the packaging. Lamy tends to use either rectangular or square paper packaging with their entry-level pens. This is the square type. You want to look for a textured paper like this. It's a black textured paper. It'll say Lamy somewhere on it, and then the manufacturer Lamy uses is this Gmund. That's Gmund. That's I believe a German paper manufacturer. So you can kind of just see that it has these vertical lines in it. It's a nice hard, like a textured cardboard. There will be a label on it, but that's like the internal label from the reseller or from Amazon or whatever. That's not Lamy's label. So you could look for something, but you don't have to be too specific about it. Open this up. You'll see the pen. The pen should be affixed to a paper insert, and this is just to stop it from rattling around within the box. Lamy used to include some sort of instruction booklet, and now I haven't seen the instruction booklet coming too often. So maybe you'll get that, maybe you won't. It's a little bit hard to say, but if you don't have it, I wouldn't be super concerned. It might have fallen out of the box, who knows? And this will just be a plain piece of paper with I mean, it's the same paper, that same lined paper. It won't say Gmund on it, but your pen will be affixed to it. Now we have the Lamy Safari. And the first thing we want to look for in it is that the color of the clip matches the color of the pen. This is the charcoal, so it should have a black clip. If this was a gloss black, it would have a silver clip. So you just want to make sure that the color combination makes sense and it's an official one. There'll be some parts here, like for a fountain pen, it'll be a little cross, and there'll be a little plastic piece here with, sorry about that, with a kind of a divot in it. It'll say Germany on it, and that's a pretty good indicator that you got the real deal if it says Germany on it. A big indicator right here will be this piece. This should definitely be here, and this is a cardboard insert that prevents the cartridge, which is inside, from being inserting into the pen and leaking en route. So this piece should be in between these two, and the pen should be slightly clamped down on it. This little ring will be cardboard. It'll have some German writing on it. It'll say like remove or whatever. I guess that's English and remove, but then it'll have some other writing, some French, some German. Basically, it has printing on the outside that says like, don't use this. It may or may not have printing on the inside. Some pens do, some pens don't. That's not an indicator, but it will have definitely writing on the outside. So you want to see that. You want to make sure this is in place. Next, your Lamy Safari should have a blue cartridge on the inside. Lamy ships these pens with blue fountain pen cartridges. It will be a Lamy T10 cartridge, not an anonymous brand cartridge. And it will say very subtly, it'll be imprinted Lamy there. It won't be in color. It won't be anything like that. Right there it says Lamy. You could probably just make it out in this light. There you go. And again, this will be blue, so look for a blue ink. Next up, a lot of these pens, a very good indicator of a fake is the quality of this embossing here, or in the case of plastic, it's not really embossing, but you get it. On one side, on the flat side, it will say Lamy. There won't be any cracks. There won't be any divots, any inconsistency. It won't be deeper on one side or unevenly laid out. It will say Lamy in a really nice, clean way. On a pen like this, it's not printed. It's just kind of pushed in. So that logo right there is one of the really big indicators, because that's not that easy to do, and a lot of the counterfeit companies won't go ahead and do that. Another good indicator here is when you screw the pen down, you want to screw it down, get it nice and tight, hand tight, don't break it, but as tight as it should go, and look through here. You should get a clean view through this window without any of these little wing pieces. That's these little things should not be seen. So basically this wide part will line up with the window and you won't see these pieces through the window. So basically you screw it down, and if you can't screw it anymore and it looks like this where you could see that wing through the window, that's a serious problem. It should be like this. I'm going to tighten it, tighten it, tighten it, and at this point it won't go anymore and it's a clean view through there. So again, that's a really good indicator. Next up, here is one that confuses a lot of people. And actually, yeah, this is an important one. So let's get this in focus. And again, this is one that confuses a lot of people. What we're going to do is remove the nib. This is best done with a piece of plastic, piece of tape. But basically, you want to pull the nib off. The nib will say F Lamy or whatever the color is. Sorry, not the color. It'll say like the size and the company name, and look for it to really clearly say Lamy. Your nib may be black or silver depending on the pen, but again, it should be really clearly and nicely printed. Now you want to look under the nib. You see there is a little bit of ink residue. Get that and put it on your finger or on a piece of paper, and then look under this feed piece here. You want to look for some ink residue. It'll be subtle, which Lamy does clean the pens, but it's important to know that Lamy tests the pens with blue ink before they leave the factory. Every pen, whether it's a $300 pen or a $5 pen, it gets tested in blue ink before it leaves the factory. They give it a wash, but there will always be some blue residue left behind. So that blue residue, that blue fountain pen ink residue, is a good sign, not a bad sign. That means your pen was tested, and it's probably an official Lamy, because the counterfeits, they don't test the pens before they leave the factory. So you should see some blue residue on the feed itself and on the nib. Again, it's hard to see on video, but in person you should be able to make it out. And then this should push back on firmly, and there should be no problems with the fit. Also, you can test the nib you get against a known Lamy. If this nib doesn't fit on a Lamy that you know to be true, then you can be pretty sure that you got a fake Lamy. Next, and I think this is the last big indicator I would say, is check the cap. Put the cap on and post it, and it'll go on smooth and firm. It won't fall off, and there won't be a click on a Lamy Safari. It'll be nice and firm, but no click. If you get a click, that's a good indicator that you did not get a real deal. From this perspective, once the pen is installed and you can't see those wings, you want to make sure that this window lines up with this top spine here, and that lines up with the nib itself. This is a nice clean line from here to here to here with no wings showing there. Again, that's just a good indicator that this has the fit and finish of a real deal Safari. Lastly, this piece, when you put the cap on the body, there will be a click. So you want to look for a click here, and you cannot see this middle ring. That center ring will be hidden when the cap is on. So no click when you post it, but it will be firm on there. Good click when it's on. When it's actually on the pen and the pen goes away for storage. So I think that pretty much covers the signs I would look for when you're looking for a real Lamy versus a counterfeit. If there's anything else that I missed, please let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.